Well, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. In today's video, we're going to be making the first tier list on our channel, and it is going to be the special attack specs tier list. In this tier list, we're going to take a look at those Pokemons who get the most value out of stacking. And for that, we have our tier list ready to go. We've got our S tier, which is called the stack tier. And then we have our A tier, which is called the absolutely tier, because you absolutely want to try stacking with these Pokemons. Next up we have the B tier, which is simply called the better than C tier, because it is better than C. And then we have the C tier, which is called the cute tier. It is called the cute tier because in this tier list there are those Pokemons who, if you're stacking with, it's like kinda cute. I mean, it's not that good of a value, and neither is that bad, but it's still not good enough. And finally we have our D tier, which is called Deadass Nope. You just don't want to stack with these Pokemons because it has absolutely no value. So as you can see, we already got some Pokemons in our D tier, which is called a Deadass Nope tier. And the reason all of these attackers are in this tier list is because these are the Pokemons who have incredibly high amount of base special attack. Because if you take a look at Espeon or something like Gardevoir, these guys have over 1000 special attack. So, and similarly Inteleon has around 950, I think, and same goes for all of these Pokemons. But there's one exception with Sylveon, and Sylveon is going to be in our C tier because you do get a little value if you're stacking with Sylveon. Sylveon has the most balanced stats out of any of these attackers, and sometimes it feels more like an all-rounder. But since Sylveon doesn't have that high of special attack compared to these guys, it can get a little value from stacking, so it is in our C tier. Next up, we're gonna take a look at the only speedster who is a special attacker, and that is going to be Gengar. I think Gengar fits perfectly in the A tier for special attack stacking. This Pokemon doesn't really have that much of special attack compared to the attackers because it does burst damage. So if you're stacking with this Pokemon, you're definitely getting a good value. So Gengar is in our A tier. You absolutely want to try stacking with Gengar. And next up, we're going to talk about our defenders. And Lapras is our first S tier special attack stacker, because Lapras's boosted basic attacks are based on its special attack, and they're also healing Lapras. So the more special attack you have, the more HP recovery you're gonna get. And if you're also stacking Eos cookies with Lapras, you're actually gonna get double value from your stacking, and you're gonna heal even more HP. And the Pokemon who gets the similar kind of treatment is Goodra. Goodra can also heal its HP if you're using the Dragon Pulse build, so it works similar to Lapras, and you can get a really good value out of stacking. Our next defender is Blastoise, and I think Lapras lies in the B tier because it doesn't really get that much of value from stacking. It's not your regular attack dealer, so your main goal is not to deal that much of a damage with Blastoise, and you're basically a disruptor tank. So you basically want to go with the Surf and Hydro Pump build, but the Rapid Spin build can actually deal a good amount of damage. So if you're considering that, Blastoise might be A tier, but I still think it doesn't do that insane amount of damage. So I'm still gonna put Blastoise into the C tier. Our last defender is Slowbro, and it is going to be really hard to decide whether Slowbro fits in S tier or A tier. I think Slowbro is A tier. Its healing is not based upon its special attack, and if you're considering that, you might think Slowbro also goes right there with Blastoise, but I've personally felt that Slowbro can get better value from stacking compared to Blastoise because it can do a really incredible amount of damage, and it does that because of its ability to stay in the battle forever. And the reason it's in the A tier is because I personally felt that it can deal incredible amount of damage as well. I personally played those kind of matches where I've dealt around 70 to 80k damage, and I've also seen others do the same, so I think Slowbro fits perfectly in the A tier. Next up, we've got all of our supporters. Not everyone, but especially these four. Blissey, Clefable, Comfey, didn't mean to do that, and Eldegoss. I think I should put these four even before the defenders because all of your healing abilities are based upon your special attack. So the more special attack you have, the more healing you're gonna do on yourself or on your allies. So these guys get the best value out of stacking because they don't have that much of base special attack, so they get incredible amount of value when it comes to stacking. Then we also got Mr. Mime, and I think Mr. Mime is either A or B tier when it comes to stacking, but I'm still going to put Mr. Mime in the A tier. And then we got Wigglytuff, and I think Wigglytuff also is in the C tier because it neither does that much of damage nor it has any healing capabilities based upon its special attack. So I think it's there with Sylveon when it comes to stacking. It can surely get some value out of it, but you're just better off using any other item. And lastly, we've got Hoopa, and Hoopa also is there with Wigglytuff and Sylveon in the cute tier. And these guys are not there because they're cute. I mean, they kinda are, but the whole point is that you're just not getting that much of value from stacking. Because the best thing you can do with Hoopa is use your portals, and your allies are basically recovering their HP by just teleporting to their base and then coming back in. You're not doing that based upon your special attack, so you just don't really get that much of value when it comes to stacking with Hoopa. So this is how your final tier list looks like, and if you want to see a tier list for any other item or just any sort of tier list in particular, do let me know in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.